Why do we think about AI as smarter than humans? Okay, so it beats us at chess and it can pass exams for us and it can write code faster than we can. But here's the thing, that idea of intelligence doesn't come from nowhere. So for most of history, people didn't actually think about intelligence as this one single thing that you could measure and rank. And that changed in the Enlightenment, a period of history in Europe when certain traits started getting elevated above all others. Things like logic, calculation, abstraction, and ultimately, I guess what we could call scientific reason. So to be a proper modern person within this way of thinking was to think clearly, objectively, and logically. Over time, those traits got bundled together into one quality prized above all others: intelligence. So intelligence became something that you could compare, sort, and use to rank people. Well, that's where things turn really dark. Those measures were, of course, quickly mobilized to argue that women, working class people, colonized populations, and disabled people were naturally less intelligent. If we think of figures like Francis Galton, who tied intelligence to heredity, he was actually a half-cousin of Charles Darwin's, those ideas influenced people like Hitler, who took them to the most horrific extreme and used these ideas to justify eugenics, forced sterilization, and mass murder. So intelligence wasn't just descriptive. It became a moral ranking system, a way to make inequality look natural and scientific. And even today, we still have some of that logic in the way that we think about technology. So think about testing mechanisms like SAT scores. They rely on quantification, speed, and abstraction, which are exactly these same Enlightenment ideals. They don't measure things like collaboration or emotional insight or lived experience. They reward a very specific way of thinking about intelligence, which maps closely onto historic ideas about class, race, and access to education. AI didn't invent this definition of intelligence, it inherited it. And that's why we celebrate machines that can outperform humans at quite specific games or tests, while other types of intelligence that keep everyday life going, like caregiving or community knowledge, barely register as AI problems at all. So when we say AI is smarter than us, what we really mean is it's better at a very narrow, historically loaded idea of intelligence. And that's a really important point because intelligence isn't a neutral fact about minds. It's a cultural story that also has a long history of exclusion and domination.